Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha. 10 dinars for the pottery.
Too much, I'll give you 5.
Come look at these carpets.
At the dawn of the 13th century, one empire stretched from the Persian Gulf to the edges of the known world. The Khwarezmian Empire, heir to the ancient civilizations of Persia, guardian of the Silk Road, pride of the Islamic world, and it was about to disappear. Sultan Allah ad-Din Muhammad II ruled an empire of 40 million. He commanded armies that had never known. He had driven back the Ghurids. He had humiliated the Caliph. He called himself the shadow of God on earth. He believed.
No army on earth can threaten what God has given us.
The Sultan is my son.
Far to the east, beyond the edges of the known world, another power was rising. Genghis Khan had already united the Mongol tribe. He had conquered northern China. Now he was looking west.
Maintain the pace. Send the flankers wider. Watch for dust clouds.
In 1218, Genghis Khan sent an extraordinary message to Sultan Muhammad. He offered peace.
We are the great Mongol nation. We pledge our loyalty to the Khan.
Mutual respect between equals. To the Sultan, it reads as an insult. He was wrong to see it that way.
Жингээбэр. Тойргийг хизээч бүүвд. Cities. Thousands of cities. And gold.
He calls himself Khan of Khans. Tell him, Thate, I am already the greatest king alive. Look, the gates are opening. Prepare the manifests. We have much to trade here.
Spies. Every last one of them.
Arrest the merchants. Confiscate the goods. All of them.
We are under the Khan's protection. You cannot!
Governor Inarchuk arrested the entire caravan, 450 merchants. He had them executed. One man escaped. That one man rode east to the Genghis Khan.
Let the Khan send his complaints.
They murdered your merchants and the ambassador, my lord.
They killed my merchants, my ambassadors. There will be no peace now.
The Sultan executed the envoys or had their beards shaved off in public humiliation.
The Khan will consider this an act of war. We ride west. Every city that surrenders Pear will be spared. Every city that resists will become dust.
Depending on the account, both were acts of war under Mongol law. He had just given Genghis Khan the justification he needed.
God protect us. How many are there? We outnumber them. We hold every city, every fortress. They are nomads. Nomads cannot take walled cities.
Do not scatter the army. Keep it unified. One army, one command. Fight them in the field.
I have 40 fortresses. I will defend every one of them. I tell you, my friend, this silk will fetch a fortune in the west.
And your spices are unmatched, the finest I have seen.
Урагшаа! Бэлэн болго! Тат! Бууд!
I should have let them pass.
The Sultan made a catastrophic strategic error. He dispersed his army, spreading 300,000 soldiers across 40 garrison cities. Instead of meeting the Mongols with overwhelming force in the open field, he gave them 40 targets to destroy one by one.
The Khan's army has crossed the frontier. Otrar is besieged. If we emerge behind them, The Sultan's entire strategy collapses. Attack! Kill them all! There is no end to them!
In the spring of 1220, Bukhara fell. The population was told to leave. Then Genghis Khan rode into the great mosque and announced that
I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you.
God had sent him to punish them for their sins. He may have believed it. Genghis Khan dispatched his two greatest generals, Jib and Subutai, with 20,000 riders. Their sole mission, find the Sultan, pursue him to the ends of the earth. What followed was the greatest manhunt in the ancient world.
He is ahead! 2 days at most! Don't let him reach the sea!
Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. He built well, their Sultan, and then he ran.
My son has fled.
The Empire has not.
We hold Urgench. It is the capital. Hey, it must not fall.
My lady fair, the city is yours. We only ask that our people be spared. Submit fully. Tell us everything. Then the Khan will decide. We surrendered. They said we would be spared.
Merv, a city of perhaps 1 million souls, the greatest metropolis of the Islamic world, it surrendered peacefully.
They cannot cross water.
It made no difference. What happened next would be debated by historians for 800 years.
Tell them. I never feared the sword. Only this. You will be taken to the Khan's court.
I have been queen of half the world. Treat me accordingly.
مراومت کنید. Uraksh, Dayan!
Sultan Muhammad II, shadow of God on earth,
Fall back to the mosque! Hold there!
master of 40 million souls, died alone on a tiny island in the Caspian Sea. No army, no court, no throne. His last shroud, they said, was a borrowed
There is nothing left to conquer here.
shirt from one of his servants.
Stand firm! We fight for everything we ever were! Stand firm!
But the Sultan had a son, Prince Jalal ad-Din, wouldn't surrender. At the Battle of Harwan in 1221, he did the impossible. He defeated
There rides a man worth 10 of his father.
He lives.
a Mongol army in open battle. It was the one moment the empire remembered with pride. It was not enough. Historians estimate the Mongol conquest of Khwarezm killed 15 to 20% of the world's population.
It will be again.
This silk is finer than the Khan's beard, but the price could feed my unit for a week. Only because it takes a week to weave. Perhaps we can discuss the price over tea. We must keep moving if we are to reach the market on time. Look, the new silks are beautiful. Yes, they will fetch a good price in Persia.
The Paisa. Deliver it swiftly. It shall be done.
Some cities never recovered, but others, Samarkand, Bukhara, would rise again. Devastation and rebirth walking the same road.
Mount. Ride swiftly.
The libraries of Merv, the greatest in the medieval Islamic world, were gone, but not everything burned. Scholars fled with what they could carry, and what they carried became the seeds of the next civilization. Genghis Khan did not destroy Khwarezm out of hatred. He destroyed it because the Sultan gave him no choice, and because the Sultan had too much pride to recognize what was coming. One man's arrogance.
My father was wrong. He scattered us. I will not make his mistake.
Forward! Ride hard! Do not let them escape!
The Khan is mortal. His army is mortal. We are still here. We are still here.
450 merchants, one executed diplomat. These were the dominoes that brought down a civilization.
Do you know who I am?
The Kharazmian Empire lasted only a few years under Mongol assault, but the cities it built, Samarkand, Bukhara, or Zenj, they endured. 14 years after its fall,
I have visited 100 cities. This one, even in its restoration, surpasses them all. Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa Allah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasuli Allah.
they were already rebuilding. A century later, they would be the most glorious cities on earth. Under Timur, the next conqueror, who also loved them. History doesn't end when empires fall. It just changes hands.